Hey everyone, welcome to the Coffee Pod Talkers. My name is Vincent,
I'm Tony.
and in this video we're going to do a review on For Honor. And Tony, you actually haven't played For Honor yet.
No.
I've played the beta, and I have so many things to say about it. So, it has potential.
Okay.
It's a good game. I like it, but what I've constantly, whenever I'm playing a match, like I do domination, which is 4v4, and you have to capture the bases like A, B, and C.
Okay, I see.
So, and every time I play it, this is what I see. You're always gonna get tag teamed,
Okay.
which is kind of annoying. I know that's a thing. Like, yeah, it's part of the game,
Yeah.
but it loses its to me, it loses its flavor of like developing your skills on one and like knowing when to block and like because there are players that are really good at using the stick and like using the moves where they're doing it really fast and you actually have to respond
Yeah.
quickly to it,
Yeah.
which is nice. But what I've noticed is that you don't actually get the chance to do that because you're always like oh, I see someone and they're by themselves and you're like, yeah, and you go up and you start to do one-on-one and then one of their teammates just comes out of nowhere and just starts and you're just getting tag teamed by both of them and you just die.
Yeah, I did wonder about that because I haven't played it, but I've watched a lot of the gameplays, and I did get the sense that it was, despite like I love the four different categories that you can, like the samurai, the knight,
Samurai and the Knight, yeah.
and like is it three?
It's three. You got
three.
samurais, knights, and Vikings, yeah.
And like I was wondering that with like online play, what that would look like because I did see that occurring. Like so, you know, they would be like they'd be frustrated, or I would just see them like it'd be a really interesting one-on-one fight. And I'd be like, wow, these guys are really good. And then like a third guy would just come up behind with a morning star, and just crush the dude's skull, and like they have to figure out how like because I'm not sure that with that online game that like capturing bases
Is
like,
appropriate.
is appropriate. Yeah, like
It's like I'm not saying it's a fun game. It's just that it is fun when it's like it would be cool. Like it is cool. Like when you're like, I guess when it's like 2-on-1, and then your buddy comes in, your like friend, your teammate comes in, and then it's like split on one, because then you're like, oh god, yeah, I got my teammate, and you're working with each other. That's fun, but just you're constantly, I'm constantly getting tag teamed, and it just pisses me off. I'm so enraged.
Well, I'm not sure that this would solve the tag team problem, but like maybe they could do it where the highest you can go is like 3-on-3, or like 6-on-6, meaning there's an equal amount of players on each team.
Yeah.
Because like if you have like if you have the option to like have 3 of your friends on one team and then you're facing one dude, there needs to be compensation. Like they need to either have more like if the guy's alone, he needs to have more like NPCs on his side.
Right.
Or something.
And that's the thing, like you have 3 bases. Why not have it 3-on-3? Because then one person can be on each base. Now, granted, if the other team, one of their friends, goes with them, then sure, get tag team, but at least it's 3-on-3 and one person, like, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you might get tag team if that happens, but at least you'll have more of a chance of doing one-on-one, and then like you can like switch and keep switching back and forth, to different spots.
Or you could do like a King of the Hill concept where you like you have your spawn bases, but you're all fighting over like a central point in the middle of the map, or like little different mini bases and that kind of shit. So like you're not. It makes the objective like neutral,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like makes it where you go, what you fight over neutral, instead. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that you're gonna get tag teamed in that game, which pisses me off. You're gonna get butt fucked, and it's horrible. And then another thing is that there's one character out of all from at least the beta, or like so like the testing matches and all that stuff. There's one character that I think they should either fix or just get rid of, and because I hate her, she's got rank. I don't know the name of her, but she's a samurai, and she's got this long staff with a sword on it. And again, you can change the genders and stuff. But every time I see someone play this, it's a woman. So, and she's got this long staff. Okay, so she's got range, but she also has speed, so she can just go, like just tap you 5 times, and your character just goes stun, and then she can like hit you, and then just jump kick and punch you in the face, and then you're stunned again, and then you just keep going. Yeah. She is, to me, I think she's too overpowered, and like, so like she doesn't have that much damage, but she has the speed and she has the range where you don't need high damage.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and the other thing that I hate about her is that when you're versing a player, you can see where they're moving their weapon.
Yeah,
you have
position.
You have to line up the position to like block if you're the defending side or whatnot.
Yeah.
And with her, I mean, when I first saw her like start playing, I was getting so enraged because I was like, because she would, the move would go from above, like she would swing like this, but really, and I would be like, oh, I gotta aim up and block. No, because the character, she confuses you. She's aiming this way, and then she goes like that. She goes around and up.
Oh, I see.
Defeats the actual way of playing it, where you have to match the thing, because it confused the hell out of me at first. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm blocking up, but she's really going from the right. But she comes and she attacks above though.
So it's a kind of a deceptive move.
Yeah.
Well, it's like tough because like you want the combat system to be fluid, and you want to like, because if it's too like sword here, sword there, sword here, it's like it's too easy to match up. So you want to have like, I mean,
but if you get good players, that doesn't matter if you're sword here, sword there, because you're moving fast and you're doing a lot of things. She's just so like, she confuses the hell out of me. I'm always angry when I see her, and that's whenever I see her, I always go. I find like usually the opponent that's playing her, they chase me, and I go find a teammate, and I hate it. But I hate it, but I go find a teammate so both of us can tag team her. Yeah. Because I'm like, I hate this character so much because she will always win.
Yeah, like I mean, it's a balancing system, you know. So it's like if you know, if you're gonna have a character like that, like for example, like I don't mind a character like that if like the knights have crossbows, because that's a distance thing.
There are crossbows,
or, like bow and arrows.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah,
the samurais has a bow and they can shoot it. It sucks at aiming, but you know.
But at the same time, like okay, I don't mind the staff, but like you said, that speed thing they have, lower that down.
Lower it down a little bit. Yeah, that's
because like for example, like I can shoot you from afar if you're the staff person, but it takes time for me to knock another arrow.
Right.
By that time, your character's so fast and has distance. By the time you get a second arrow in, I'm already just
jabbing the hell out of you,
destroying you. So you gotta. I mean, so there's a balancing issue there too, and like if you're gonna have like those little deceptive techniques to make sure that those attacks are even throughout all playing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if it's just certain characters or just certain like knights or whatever that have that, then you know, then there's a problem. It's not congruent. You know what I mean? If you're gonna have those kind of sneak attacks, then that needs to be with every player, and every player having their own special sneak attack.
Right.
You know, and that kind of thing.
So she's another reason why I have problems with the game. It's a great game. Like, you know, it has a lot of potential. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It has a lot of potential, but there are things that they still need to work on. They need to fix.
It's like when you play fucking Hot Girl in Injustice.
We're not bringing that up. We're not bringing that up.
I don't want to kill you because of your ability to play the character.
I can't play the character. She's just cheap.
Yeah, I want to kill you because I can't punch the creator in the head because of how he designed her.
Ed Boon. Yeah, I'm gonna punch you, Ed Boon.
But yeah, Mr. Boon, you kind of went unfair with that one. She's a little too much. But then again, I'm not a hardcore player of Injustice.
True.
And plus that one, the can't talk right now. The move I use with Catwoman that slashes.
Oh, the slash right through.
It's borderline unblockable.
Oh yeah, totally.
So I mean,
well, again with those characters,
hypocrite.
But at least with those characters, you know, each of those characters in Injustice, you know, they're gonna have that one move that's like pretty much unblockable.
Yeah.
You know that off. Each character has that. Like Batman has that. I don't know. Batman has actually a shit ton of moves. But anyways, yeah, there's gonna be those characters. Now in For Honor, that character has two things wrong with her. Like she has a lot, and that's where she's a little overpowered. And the other thing that I have problems with that game, well, I have a shit ton, but another one is that response time or the you know what I mean, from the button like to the controller to the actual game, the response time is a little lacking or a little late in certain parts.
I did see that in some of the gameplays. They seemed a little clunky.
They're a little clunky. So like I'm dodging, like sometimes like I'll block their move, and then with the stick I move up and then hit like the light attack to swing. But my character doesn't do anything sometimes. He'll just move his sword up, and I'm hitting the button, and he'll just. And there was one time I was literally like, the guy had that much life, and I was ready to kill him, and I'm hitting the button, and my character's literally doing this.
Oh yeah.
Starting to twitch out, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, and then the other guy, the other teammate, just kills me off, and I'm just like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So like they need to work on either the button response time or like how I don't know the proper like terms for it, but you know what I mean, like
yeah. Well, because I'm wondering, because like it is an ambitious game, like in terms of you know, reading the other opponent and like what they're trying to do. Like that is a fairly new thing in like first person combat in a certain sense, that it's like, I don't know, it just seems a little different for me. So they are being ambitious, but in that fact it is difficult. Like, I mean, what's that game where you said for the first time they were doing like with the green suit stuff, you said it's coming out fairly soon, you're pumped about it. You said
Hellblade?
Hellblade.
Oh, I'm very pumped for Hellblade. Should check it out. Not a promotional thing, but it looks like an interesting game. Interesting.
So like how they're doing character movements, you know, they could apply that similar concept in terms of like, all right, here are the 8 attacks this character has, and then having someone do that. So like it's more fluid in terms of like how but I mean, maybe that's just you know, just because you can do a fluid swing and having that communicate with the controller might be a different problem.
Yeah. So that's another thing that they need to work on is the button response time, and also with the stick, because the right stick is the thing by how you move your sword. Yeah. So they need to work on I'm just gonna use this where I'm like the kind of like the range of where, you know, what like says like, oh, this is to the left side, this is up, and that's like, you know, to the right. They need to fix where that is, because when I've noticed this, and like when I'm trying to go to the left or just vice versa going up, sometimes I'm up, but the thing thinks I'm actually going to the left.
Oh, I see.
So the range on it needs to be worked on a little bit too for the sticks.
Yeah.
Because that messes me up, because I'm like, oh, I'm blocking up, but really where it is, I'm on like the fine line where I'm actually on the left side. So that messes me up too.
Yeah, so maybe like whatever grid they're using, they need
the grid. They need a better grid.
Like think of like a circle, and you got up, down, left, right, but then you've got these slices in the middle for diagonal positions too. So like maybe they need to just I think of it like cutting a pizza.
Yeah.
Instead of having 4 squares or 6, maybe you need to have 8 slices.
Yeah. Well, this one it's literally 3 slices. It's like that. Okay. What I think they needed like. They need 4, kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so you can get like that part, you know, but so they need to work on the grid on the stick part.
Or like, what if they even like didn't cut the pie at all, and then just made it like a total
just
3.
Like that would be actually cool.
Yeah, just like don't control that part of the game at all. And now we're like, and then you're getting into like real improvisation, real one, because you're like, it's a 360 motion, so it's like you have complete control.
But how would you? Like, that sounds awesome. I think that's possible, but the only way to actually do that, how would you block? Then would that be more like an area section? Like when you're blocking, would it be like, okay, you're in this, you know, section of the thing, or like
well, I mean, because here's the thing, like especially with sword fights, because swords are broad, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like you have to like block it on the exact point that the two swords
right. So
cross.
It could like meet at different
because like defensively and offensively, no matter what, it's a full 360 open pizza pie. So that way, if you see it on the right side, all you need to do is have your sword like within that neighborhood to block it.
Yeah. Which that could work too. Yeah. Instead of dividing it into 3 sections and just keep it one whole thing. That could work too.
Because I don't think that would hurt the style. Like, for example, if you want to do like a straight strike or that kind of thing, I don't think it would hurt the availability.
There's actually
of moves.
no move. Yeah, I don't think there's like a move where you just go like a jab.
Yeah.
It's literally he will swing up. The only person that has the jab is the woman with the staff. That's her move. She can swing up, but that move where it's like the confusing move.
Yeah.
She jabs you, and so.
Yeah, because well, I did feel like, and once again, I haven't played the game, and I'm just looking at the gameplays. I did feel in terms of like sword style and availability that they used knight sword techniques and applied them to a samurai. That's a little bit. Like, for example, like I'm not like well steeped in like sword styles or like too much, but I am kind of into samurais and all that stupid shit. And one of the moves was like deceptively was a straight jab, like kind of like twisting and like using the sword straight on.
Right.
Was kind of like an actual move that samurais would use.
Right.
As where like that wouldn't be a good thing to use with like a knight's sword. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know the intricacies of sword fighting, but it just seems like that. Like,
well, the person who made this has a lot of knowledge over sword fighting and all that stuff from different areas, or at least that's what he says. I don't know the guy's name. He's got a big grizzly beard and like at least that's what he says. And then I saw when like the game first was announced and like he came out and he's like, yes, I have all this knowledge over this sword stuff. Then I watched another YouTube channel of a guy saying this guy doesn't know anything about swordplay because he's like, why would a knight grab the blade and swing and hit someone with it? He's like, that's not gonna do anything.
Yeah,
So
you could debate that. I mean, I don't know, like with the whole chainmail thing. You would have to research this, but would your chainmail include gloves? Or would you have chainmail up to your wrist and keep it just a hand, so it's more comfortable that way?
Right. Again, you're getting too detailed with
right.
it.
But I mean, these are So, but yeah, I would say that if you're making 3 classes, that I would consult more than one person's knowledge, because like. If you have a wide breadth and a number of subjects, that's great because you have this knowledge base to kind of compare and contrast. But like, if you're gonna get into a game like that, you need to have 3 separate specialists, and then maybe that broad guy.
The broad guy.
The broad guy that can look at those concepts and go, okay, well,
you're kind of right on this part. Yeah, you're all right on the. You know.
Or what's practical to the game itself.
Right.
Because the guy like you're looking for that like general dude, but also has an understanding of how video games are made.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, you got the sword specialist going to go, oh, I can tell you about these 88 specific moves that the samurais employed generically, depending on what style you were in. And they're going to go, okay, that's cool.
How do I put that in a video game?
Yeah, how do I put that? I'm 88 moves? That's controllers don't have enough versatility to do that. So let's look at kind of the core moves that are like totally designate samurais.
Right.
So I think having one dude being, having the say, I think you should probably consult like
other people,
a few more specialists. Say, hey, this is what I know. Is this realistic?
Right.
Are these are the moves available to me? Are there better ones that would better portray the style of a samurai? And I was just thinking, going back to that, like, getting ganged up on and like the 3v3 or like that kind of shit or whatever. I was thinking that you could use different incentives depending on like different modes that you play. Like, for example, all right, so on the 1v1 mode.
Yeah, which they have 1v1.
Yeah. You can only unlock certain character attributes, certain swords, certain styles, like moves, if you play 1v1, and then you can only unlock certain things on like a 3v3.
For just that mode, though.
For just that mode.
Oh, okay.
So make like mode incentives.
All right.
So if you want to play that whole gang up thing and like you like doing that kind of stuff or that style of play, then you can unlock certain things. But you also have to respect the 1v1.
Right.
To unlock. I mean, you could even make it lopsided. Do like the real like golden chest swords, the real good stuff is on the 1v1.
Right.
And then, but there would be some crossover too. So you would spend time on the 1v1 grind to get that sweet sword, and then go into the 3v3 and be able to possibly handle 2 people at a time because of the strength of your weapon.
Because of the strength of your weapon. And that's another thing with, so when you get the loot system, each armor or piece or sword or because pretty much what you get is like you can get like here's a blade which does like this, like you get 20% more stamina, and then while it gives you more of something, it takes away from another thing, which I understand why they do that. Just so you can figure out how to balance certain things out.
Yeah.
And it also makes it fair to other players. So you're like, okay, this player is very good at defense, but he's got a shitty like attack. I was thinking of like how I think it would be better, but I think it would be overpowered for a lot of people. Or if that each armor does one thing positive to just one thing, and that's it, and not decrease another thing. But like it's like, okay, I have an arm piece that gives me like 20% stamina. Cool, awesome, and that's like the only armor piece that upgrades that, or it makes it better.
I see.
And then your chest piece is like, okay, it'll give you just like 10% more attack. Cool. So then like
so kind of attribute different pieces. So like for your shoes, for example.
Yeah.
But add agility points because it's about foot movement.
It's about foot movement, and that's it, and that's all it works on.
That's all it does.
And that
I
it
like
doesn't
that.
decrease other things. It just works on that, and that's it. So pretty much. And then again, you can upgrade pieces to it, but it takes a while to upgrade because you have to like get a shit ton of armor and like
because literally like it's about the
accumulation
accumulation of all of these pieces. Okay, interesting.
So like that's how I thought it would be better to do it, where it's like, okay, you get certain pieces, they affect one thing, not by much. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it affects just that one piece instead of decreasing other things. And because let's say the way how it plays. So I say I have a chess piece that's like, it gives you great attack, but it lowers your stamina and it lowers your like deep like your buffs, like like your little special add-ons things. So it adds one and takes two other things away, not a lot, but a little bit. And how it plays is if you have enough to upgrade it, like you want to upgrade that piece, it'll actually lower more of those two other things and upgrade that. And I don't like that. I actually don't like that as an idea. I just want one one piece of armor to upgrade just one thing, and and that's
kind of
it.
Assignments.
And so then you can build your character in a certain way, kind of like how Injustice 2 is doing it, where one piece of armor upgrades just health, or just upgrades your attack power, and it just does that, and that's it, and that's how your character develops. So your Superman can be more attack, and because all of his pieces are assigned to attack, like that.
I love that idea. Yeah,
so
I think it's interesting.
I think that's how they should have done it in For Honor.
Yeah, and that balances out definitely the different armor classes, like between like light, heavy, medium. You know what I mean? Like it like if you have a decked out heavy set that like has boosted that agility, that although you have heavy armor, you could technically be faster than the dude with light armor because he hasn't taken the time to like get his like light armor up to pace, up to scale. And I was thinking too, you can also add like environmental factors.
Are there environmental factors?
Like for example, like if it's snowing, certain moves are going to be really shitty for you to do and choose because you're going to slip.
You also have to think that's a lot of programming too, a lot of coding.
That's a crap.
But there are environmental moves where you can like push them off an edge and they'll die, or that like you can pull a lever and a gate falls down and it hits them, or there is I did this to one dude by accident, and I like blocked their move and I hit them in the face, and then while they were stunned I hit them again, like I did a quick kick. I kicked them into the fire and they just lit up, and I'm like, and I just went attacking them, and then they just died, and I was like, yes, but I was just like, so there are environmental moves that you can do, but a lot of those characters can't really use those environments, and I'm gonna explain why. So like a samurai, usually what they're gonna do is they're gonna hit you and you're stunned, and the next, if you hit square again, or X if you're on Xbox, they're gonna like do a light kick where you kind of stumble a little bit and you're like, all right. So they can't really, you have to be like close to the edge to do that, and it's hard to get them because usually the player is good at, I'm gonna get out of the way because I know what you're trying to do. So but then you have this one Viking who's the big brute with like the huge axe. His move is annoying because he can hit you, or from like a distance, he can charge at you, pick you up, and throw you 5 feet.
Oh.
So literally, and there was one player I was versing. That's all he did to me was literally just pick me up and throw me off the edge. And I was like, "You're not actually fucking good at this game. You just do that move."
Yeah. You gotta be clever with. Thoughtful with your environmentals.
Yeah.
Like for example, like if you're gonna have a lever that pulls fire, okay, that's okay because like that you're using that in the moment. But I think having off-map cliffs that you can throw people just off the map is ridiculous. Like it's a
little much. And there's like 2 characters that are really good at doing that. And that's all. And when the player plays that character, that's pretty much all they do. They just throw you off the edge. And it's really annoying because you're not giving the like me, if you do that to me, you're not giving me a chance to like kind of fight for myself or defend myself. You're just throwing me off and that's it. You're just getting a point because you killed me. But really, like honestly, you could be the shittiest player at the game and I could kill you in a sword fight, but you just keep killing me by throwing me off the edge. Yeah, which is not right. Then there's another character which I used to play this character a lot because I liked the way that he had his shield and he has the mace where he spins it. Like he's a slow character. He's slow, but he's powerful. He's got a lot of weight to him and does it. And I actually didn't know he had this move, but he also has a charge move where he takes his shield and just bashes you, and you go back. So he's another character that if you're next to the edge and he charges, you're dead. You're gone. You're off the edge. Yeah. You're screwed. And I never learned that move. I actually just got good as knowing his moves. I got good by just doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I think what I like about what I hate and love about the game. From what I've observed, so once again, is that like, and I think actually this is part of why the game. One of my gripes of the game is like the amount of betas and the amount of like total, because they're trying.
Had so many betas. I don't know why there were this many. There's a beta right now, 2 days before it comes out. I'm like, what's the point of that then?
Yeah, you're just continually pushing it back. So these considerations are like important, but at the same time I think they're trying to cater too much to everyone's specific gripe with every single class. Like so the cliff thing is definitely an important component in the game.
Yeah, you can have it, just
but at some point you got to be able to say, okay, well, if you don't like that, then get good at the game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you got to balance it, but also at the same time you can't cater too closely to everyone's specific needs, or the game will never freaking come out.
Or it will never come out.
Yeah, like
which I understand, but that's just like I have problems with that because like you just get players that think they're good and they just get the big guys so they can just toss you over, and I'm like, that's not fair for other players, and it is difficult because and this happened to me, I get tag teamed and they literally corner me off to the edge and the big dude just comes in.
Oh, they just herd you off.
Just herd me off and they just push me off, and I'm like, I fucking hate you guys. I really hate you guys.
So, well, I mean, and like something like that, I don't think, so we could do it like, once again, with the different level incentives, you could apply that to like a map, for example. Right. And I don't think it's a huge coding thing, but like on 1v1s, cliff tosses are activated on. And then on 3v3s, you can't toss someone off a cliff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
so it's more like you're gonna actually fight each other.
Yeah, like on 101, if you get tossed over a cliff, that's your strategic fuck up.
Yeah, that's your fuck up.
But if on a 3v3, they should cut that off because just hurting someone off a cliff, it's like, what fun is that?
Yeah, there's no fun in that.
It's not fun for the person getting tossed off the cliff, and what fun is it for the person tossing them off a cliff?
I actually was playing that one day, and I got so enraged that I took the time to take off my sweatpants and throw it at the wall. I was like, son of a, and I take it, and I'm like, ah, and I throw my sweatpants.
The kind of rage where you just need something to throw.
And I took my pants off.
You just fuck up my pants and fucking shit, and just chuck what's around you.
Yeah, pretty much that's what I did. Yeah. I was so enraged because it kept on happening.
Yeah. I crushed a coffee mug like that. I remember playing.
You do the was it John Belushi? Yeah, with the can.
Yeah, I remember like I was playing some game. I think it might have been. Actually, this is semi-embarrassing because it was like an internet cafe. It was like one of the few times I've like raged embarrassingly. And there was this cafe called Algebars. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it was downtown on Church Street. But we were playing at the time. I was really into Counter-Strike Source.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so all me and my buddies were, and we used to like shit on each other and talk all this crap, and we were playing like a little tournament with each other. And we had money on the line, and I got killed. Like this one of our buddies loved the camp, but he was like an intelligent camper. Like he knew all the camp spots, and he would just like
Keep going, jumping
shift
around.
from each camp spot.
He's such a dick too, though.
He would kill like 3 people in one camp spot, then go to another camp spot. Like anyways, and I lost like $50, and like I was in like
high school where
high
$50
school.
was actually
Yeah.
a lot.
$50 was like a it was like a mortgage payment. You know what I mean? And so I had my energy drink, and he shotgunned me. Like with like just noob cannon status while camping. I was like, motherfucker! And I like spanked the energy drink next to me against the wall, and it's like sodas everywhere and shit. Everyone's like, woo. So, but you know, that's like funny, like the certain shit that makes you rage. I'm surprised I didn't kill somebody when you played Hot Girl. Shit, I'm still bitter. I'm still salty.
Oh man,
It's an asshole. But yeah. I mean, it's there's. I mean, no matter what, I don't think that game can like bomb. You know what I mean? Because like,
I think it's gonna be more like I think this is how I think it's gonna go.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be a lot of hype, which there is kind of a hype for it. There's a little bit like, ooh, For Honor, yeah.
They've definitely drawn out the hype. Yeah.
They drawn it out a little bit, and what's gonna happen is gonna be like a Evolve, where there was a lot of play in the first month, and then like after that, there's like no one playing.
No response.
There's no response, and I think that's how it's gonna go, which is terrible because For Honor does have potential, but I think it's a game that shouldn't be coming out now. It should be maybe like a month or 2, like just to work out, fix the little bugs, you know.
A beta 2 days before your release.
That doesn't sound right. Why would you do that?
Why the fuck would you do that?
No, that makes no sense.
Time. Well, and I think that's actually, I think Evolve followed a similar recipe in that they released a lot of betas and a lot of pre-game play, and that's great.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, I mean.
But that game was all online. Yeah, there was a story offline, but not that much, and that's how For Honor's going. There is a story. I don't know how big the offline story is, but the way the game is, it's mostly online. That's how Evolve was.
Yeah.
Evolve. Do you hear people talking about Evolve right now? No. It fell off the face of the earth. It went bye-bye.
And I fucking loved the gameplays from that. Like the people that did play it, it was like
I was like, wow, this is cool. Yeah. Because I love the concept of like 4 versus 1, big monster versus humans. Cool concept, great idea. Loved it. Bad execution.
Each class was super balanced. The monsters, although they were solo, like
you could you
can eat creatures.
And if you were like
so balanced,
like I love playing the monster, and I was actually, I'm not saying I was the best player, but I actually knew how to play where I would just sneak for like 10 minutes. I would just sneak and evolve, and I would be level 3 until like the humans found me, and I would just decimate
just come
all
out
of them.
of the dark.
I'd be like coming out as the crack and floating in the air. It's like
hello.
So I was just like,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I see For Honor going, and I pre-ordered it, and I canceled my pre-order because of that. I started seeing these things, and I was like, I'm gonna cancel this. I'm gonna wait until like a week after, reviews and stuff.
Well, if you spend $60 on a video game that is multiplayer based and no one plays,
Also, is that's not really finished too.
Yeah, and it's not fit. Like 2 days before the like, there's gonna be glitches and other shit.
There's gonna be glitches.
Well, and I think too, like. I like that they've given it to the mass public and say, guys, what do you think?
Which a lot of games do that now.
But I think you gotta funnel it. Like as you get closer to the initial release, now you need to start being a little more exclusive.
Yeah.
Like for example, like I mean, I'm sure some YouTubers like game players would have a qualm with this, but like if you're a game player and Sony wants you to come in and review it and that kind of thing because
they do.
Because that's your career.
I've seen Dashy do it.
Right, Dashy.
I don't know if I've seen Markiplier do it, but I've seen other.
Yeah.
Like Let's Play with Gavin, Michael, and all them. I've seen them do it.
And like, obviously the incentive for the YouTuber is that they get to put it on their channel.
They get to put it on their channel, but you know what they're gonna do.
But I don't think they should be allowed to.
No, this is what I think. This is how I because when this might be going off topic, but what's gonna happen is that when Ubisoft, because that's who's making For Honor, is Ubisoft. Yeah. Ubisoft's gonna be like. Let's say you're a YouTube gamer and you got a lot of subs and they're like, oh, if we give you the game, play it, and even if you have your own personal opinions on it make it seem good. And you know that the gamer's going to be like, yeah, I'll make your game look
good.
freaking amazing. You know,
Yeah,
I'm going to say all these, I'm going to praise it. I'm going to make it say, oh, it's good at this, it's that. They're actually not going to speak their mind. And you know that's going to happen, which is messed up a little bit because it actually kind of warps. It's a lie. What they're doing is like, because the gamer's not going to actually say it. Because theoretically, I think this is what happens. When Ubisoft gives you like the game, they also give you money too. They pay you.
Yeah.
So like it's a promotional thing. So why would you talk crap about a game that's paying you? So that's the thing. I want real opinions. Like I want to have like a gamer be like, okay, this is where it has problems. This is where it's good. On your own opinion, do you want it or not? And that's it. And the Ubisoft or Rocksteady pays the gamer and says, all right, just give us an honest review.
Yeah.
But you know that's not going to happen because everything is a fucking monopoly now.
Yeah, it's all about,
you know.
I think that's why a game that like wants the opinion of experienced gamers.
But a little bit of a lie.
Yeah, I think that's why they should be able to, in terms of like overexposing the game before it's released, to say, hey, listen, we're paying you to come in here and give your professional opinion. So for the sake of the game's hype and not overexposure, we're going to request that you don't put it on your channel and say that here's the paycheck, we're paying you for your professional opinion as a professional.
So then it would be more like, this is what you need to work on as a gamer. So it's more of instead of an online open beta where everybody's doing it and you're getting bombarded by all these things, like this is what you need to work. You actually get just one gamer to play it and be like, this is what you need to work on, and then that's it. Not saying you shouldn't do betas, you know, so everybody gets a taste of it, and then like you know, but at least it's more of a personal level when you have like, you know, one gamer to play it and then just give you their opinion on it. So
because I mean, because then like when you give it to the public, it's almost like there's too much. Like if even if 50% of the mass of people that you give it to actually respond
respond to it.
That's so much information to synthesize.
Oh, so much.
You have to sort it from people that are just bitching to actual productive criticism. And if you've got, you know, even if 10,000 people or 5,000,
that's a lot. Of 50% respond to that. That's still a lot.
You got to respond to 2,500 people, even if 50%. And that's just so much to weed through.
Oh, so much.
So much to like.
Dude, it'll probably take like a week to like literally sift through all that, read it, and check off like, okay, this is what that person says, and then just by having this huge list of all that stuff, and just like trying to fix that, it's not. It's impossible.
You got a list this long that you conducted in a week, and now you got to take every consideration and then code it back into the game, which takes even longer to code.
And that's where I'm saying, and that's what I'm trying to say is that For Honor has great potential. I want to wrap this up because this is a long video.
It's getting long. But.
So as I said, needs to work on the gridding system and the button response. Needs to work on that. Needs to work on like maybe the environment, or like at least the players that, you know, if they toss you over, you know, like kind of like that as you were saying.
Multiplayer mode incentives.
Also, make that woman with this giant staff, dumb her down a little bit. She's too overpowered. I hate her so much. I actually scream a lot at my screen. And
armor system.
Like, that would be a cool. I kind of like that style of armor instead of, you know, it builds up this one and like it lowers these others. So just give me just one and that's it. And
or even like our certain weapons.
Or certain weapons.
Like certain upgrade systems to that.
Yeah. So that pretty much just a rehash of all that. So work on that. Also, what was I gonna say again? I totally just blanked. Oh god, no.
Armor system, maps. Particular girls.
Dumbing down her, and just honestly, it's a game that has a lot of potential, but it needs more time to be finished. I think they rushed it a little bit. I think they rushed it, and it's gonna fall short, kind of like Evolve, and that's all I'm gonna say. Some people might like it. I enjoy parts of it, and the other parts I'm kind of about.
I mean, the concept is pretty straightforward. I mean, it's just 1v1 and gameplay, you know, that kind of thing. So, in a certain way, it's kind of simple, but I think the benefit in that it can't fail is that games in the future will look This will be somewhat of an influential game, whether it's it turns into the next mega hit or it's nothing, or like kind of the evolve.
It can go multiple ways. I see it as more of the downgrade.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to have a little bit of the evolve effect, but I do think that it will be an influential game to future games, and that it's its ambition.
Oh, it's definitely gonna spark up new other games that are similar to that.
Yeah, call and response, hand-to-hand combat, and that kind of thing. I think it will be a positive influence on at least the industry of those types of games.
Right.
So it won't be the next Halo by any means, but it'll.
Which Halo's going downhill now. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. You guys can be fans of Halo. I lost it after Halo 3, and it started going down.
Yeah, I mean it's the Halo dynasty that it's almost like. Loved and adored for a certain time period that it was the shit for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll accomplish that kind of stuff, but
no, it's not gonna be like that.
But it'll be sort of a soundboard.
It's gonna be a gateway for future other games to follow the same kind of style.
Exactly.
And that's what it is. Yeah. Honestly, I think that'd be great for other future games to fix the problems and be like, okay, we see where that's coming from, but we're gonna improve on it a little more.
Yeah, it will make a positive impact at least within the video game production world, and maybe not so much the consumer player world.
Right.
But will have importance nonetheless. Yeah.
And obviously, when the game fully comes out, I'm not gonna buy it right when it comes out. I'm gonna at least wait, see other people's reviews, and if I do get it, then we'll do another video of like. The full thing.
Yeah, the full.
But this is just on beta wise and what we're talking about and what they should be working on instead of
Yeah.
But all right. Well, you all good?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to do the outro, or you want me to do the outro?
You seem smoother with it.
Oh, okay.
Go for it.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. If you have a comment or a response to anything that we've talked about, please leave it down below. Hit that like button if you want to. Subscribe if you want. Yeah, thumbs up. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you later. All right. Adios.
Ciao.